Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Wild and Free Show. Today, we're with one of Deirdre's volunteers called Anneke van Schoor. Anneke van Schoor has been a core member of the team for the past couple of years, and today we're going to ask her about her hobbies and what she enjoys about rehabbing. And the first question that I always start with is just tell us about yourself a bit and your background, where you're from. And when did you start enjoying working with the animals?
Oh, okay. I grew up in the Free State. Didn't have a lot to do with animals back there because not much goes on there. Street lights go on, and that's about it. So yeah, I come from the Royal Triangle. Grew up, moved here about 8, going for 9 years ago now, and then I got involved 2015 with snakes, doing handling, catching snakes, milking snakes for the production of antivenom. And through that, I met Deirdre, and then got involved with wildlife rehab. Definitely like animals a lot more than I like most people on earth.
Don't
Animals
we
are,
all?
yeah, don't we all? Animals are just a lot more reliable than human beings. We can learn a lot from animals, especially snakes. And of course, my favorite animal on earth is being the banded mongooses, also known as four-legged land piranhas, as well as Satan's rats. But yeah, they're definitely my favorite animals.
Okay. What do you keep yourself busy with now? What do you do except for helping Deirdre at the rehab?
My day job is doing snakes. So yeah, I work with snakes, mostly busy with reptiles, reptile rescue, milking snakes for the production of antivenom, and training people how to work with snakes.
Okay, now tell us a bit about your favorite animal, the land piranha.
Yeah, I've been working with them 4 years, going for 5 years,
5 years.
5 years
What are
now.
land piranhas? What are land
Banded
piranhas?
banded mongooses. Mongoose, mongo, is it
Mo-
not? So yeah, raised, I've stopped counting, multiple of them. I just love their family structure, their communication, the different sounds they make, the greeting of their family members. They're looking after their family members,
Mm.
the care they give. If there's one that's a little bit disabled or injured, they don't reject it, they look after it. I can see why a lot of people want to keep mongooses as pets because they are seriously awesome animals up to when hormones kick in. Then they turn into vicious little buggers. It's basically like having a toddler 24/7. Everything you eat is theirs, everything you have is theirs, everything you touch is theirs. So it's literally like having a 2-year old in the house 24/7. They are vicious little buggers. They will attack with no reason. When the hormones kick in, they
Mm.
actually horrible.
They will draw blood.
They do draw blood.
Mm.
I've been scratched, bitten, peed on, pooed on, covered in 50 shades of
All sorts.
feces. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, they are really awesome animals, but they are not solitary animals. They have to be in a pack. They have to be released in a pack. It's so stupid
Mm.
when people try and release these animals and they're going like, okay, I'm going to set it free all by itself. No, it doesn't work that way.
Mm-mm.
So they have to be released in a troop. They have to be in a family group. They look after each other. It's very
Use the
difficult.
example that if they've got babies, just looking after the babies, and that's a
So
good structure.
with
That.
the babies, when babies are born, the moms look after them for about 2 weeks, and then they get assigned to a teenage boy. Basically, the boys, the men, look after the babies. They teach them to hunt. They teach them to eat. They catch things, bring it back to the babies. A group that I released about 2 years ago. Apollo was the main man, and Luna was the main female of the group. And I would go visit them just to check on them, and they remember me. I was their mom for a year.
Mm.
And Apollo would come and greet me, and I would of course, take a little bit of snacks. Their favorite was watermelon or grapes or something, or chicken necks or chicken gizzards or something. And he would grab a mouthful, run to the babies, put it down by the babies, run back to me, and eat one, and then grab a mouthful and take it back to the babies again. This was a group of 6 that I released, and they successfully bred, I think, about 4 times
Yeah.
in the wild. From going to a group of 6 being released, their numbers grew within a year to over 21
Yeah.
in the wild, babies born in the wild. Yay! Which was awesome. They would bring the babies out and show them to me. And it's just so amazing knowing that I raised these animals from very young and then release them back into the wild, and they bred in the wild where they belong. These animals do not belong in cages. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate when people exploit these animals and put them in cages. It's just wrong. It's not the right thing to do.
What we've seen here in Marlow Park a lot is where people take in the babies, then they grow up, and then they become a problem animal. So they just shoo it out of the house. And then
Unreleasable.
yeah, releasing it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we get phone calls, no, here's a banner mongoose that just walked into my house.
It's not just that. If they release just one and, how can I say it, another troop stumbles upon it, they will literally rip that animal to pieces.
Yeah, apart.
They are vicious little buggers. If they were any bigger, we would have been on the menu.
Yeah.
They are extremely good hunters. I saw a video on Facebook a while back where about a 2.5 meter python got hold of one. And they've got this distinct, there is trouble scream. And the next moment, the cavalry arrived, and about, let's say, 15 to 20 mongooses ripped that python to pieces. They are so protective of their group. So it's so wrong to release one where it's not integrated into a group. It's signing that animal's death sentence. It is such a reckless thing to do. And then people raise these things as pets and domesticate them. And then when they become a problem, they dump it on us rehabs.
Yes.
And then we have to integrate this
Time.
domesticated, tame frickie, the mongoose, into a group, and it takes time.
Takes longer. And the problem is we can only release that group once that one that you or the public domesticated as a successful integration. So in actual fact, for you to taking those animals, have a look at it, keep it as a pet, you taking away the freedom of the other pack. Whereas as soon as you found it, could have phoned us, it would have been integrated long time with the pack.
It's easier to integrate them when they're babies, when they're young.
Yeah.
But getting an adult to be accepted into an adult group is extremely difficult. It takes me a week or two, sometimes longer. Males are not easily accepted. Females are a little bit shorter. They accept new females easier. So yeah, it's difficult, and it's the sounds, the screaming, hearing mongooses fight is terrifying. I love them, but they're horrid little creatures. They are really vicious.
Vicious. So, Anneke, you've told us about the mongooses that you released in the wild, and they were it's their fourth generation now. Do you have any other success stories of releases that you've done?
Yes, definitely. I hand reared a group of 12, and they were released about how many months ago?
4 months ago.
5 months ago. They were released in Zimbabwe in a park where they went extinct. So I released a group to repopulate the area where they went extinct. That, I think, for me, in the few years that I've been doing this, has been my greatest success. Where Daisy was the main group. I had her for about a year alone before we got in babies again. And I had to introduce her to a group of babies, which I raised, and they were successfully released. One of the group is one that came from Owatambo, actually.
Yeah.
The people stopped there, and a bunch of mongooses popped out of the car.
Cause
And they were only able to capture the one, and Blondie was integrated into this group, and they accepted him eventually and released. Another one of the group was Van Gogh. Yeah, it's silly. I know I name my animals, but there's just something.
Yeah.
They have to have a name.
Yeah, I agree.
Van Gogh was picked
Easier
up,
to
and he
feed,
was
yeah.
attacked by something, either other group that killed the rest of the babies or something else that bit it. But he had this massive wound on his head, about the size of a 5 rand coin, that there was absolutely no skin, even skin left. There was just this infection. And I nursed that little one with the help of my vets back to health, and he was also integrated into this group and released in Zimbabwe, and they are doing really well that side.
Yeah, they are.
They started hunting themselves. They have now not been able to locate them for the past 2 weeks, I
2
think.
weeks, yes.
And that tells me that they probably in a nest and they have started breeding in the wild.
Yes, which is a perfect example of a successful release.
These animals cannot, and I make that clear, cannot be kept as pets. Yes, they are awesome. Yes, they are cute. Yes, they are awesome animals. But they need to be wild. They need to live in family groups. They need to have other mongooses with them. Otherwise, they will start to self-mutilate as well and injure them.
What will happen if you've got a mongoose and it's reaching maturity? It will first start with a...
It will start with a pecking order. They will
Yeah.
try and challenge for dominance. They will see, okay, who's the youngest? I need to take that one out first and show that I'm bigger than him. Once they take the children out or attack the children, they will move up higher and try and attack your husband or your wife. And they will move up higher until they can reach the top of the pecking order. They are group animals. They're actually called a business of mongoose. So, yeah, they are a business. So, yeah, they need to be at the top of the food chain in the group. They need to be the leader and they will challenge everyone. If you've got guests visiting, they will immediately attack because that guest is not part of the pack. So they will attack anyone that comes to visit.
Yeah.
And they have vicious teeth. They are basically a combination of cats and dogs. They purr like cats, but they play like dogs. So yeah, they need to be in a group. They cannot be kept solitary. It's the biggest injustice that is done if
Or
animal
even
is
release on their own.
or release on their own. It's the biggest injustice you can do. You are signing that animal's death
Death
sentence.
sentence.
To me, it's reckless. It is so wrong to do.
Yeah, it's cruel.
It's cruel. It's cruelty.
The
It's
amount
cruelty
of
to animals.
times that we say we're signing the animal's death sentence, Nadine said that a lot, and now it's coming through again. For example, if you wanted to go on holiday, what do you do with an animal? You can't just take it to a pound or whatever and give it off there. That animal, I guess, is going to pine to death because it's going to miss you if you go on a 2 week or 3 week holiday. You cannot
Yeah,
do that.
Definitely. And another
you can't.
problem is people visit areas that are TB areas. And then they find this baby and they want to take it back now. And they are spreading
TB
TB.
diseases.
So I am from the Nelspruit area. So I am basically what they call the white area, which is a non-TB area. And Marlow Park, up to about Hectorspruit,
Up to now, Malalaan.
up to Malalaan, is a TB
Then
area. So I try and work with only animals from the non-TB area.
Yeah, and our rehab center is going to be a quarantine area. So if we get the mongooses from the white area in, they will stay in the quarantine white area. And all our red zone animals will stay in the red zone area. And yeah, so it's basically quarantine. They will be in quarantine. It depends on where they came from.
Isn't it interesting that animal that in Marlows Park, for example, is actually a problem animal? They're starting in these huge packs, 80 to 120 in a pack, starting to attack the daycare, and then you can actually relocate them to an area that needs them. Like you mentioned, you relocated those 12 to Zimbabwe.
Yeah, the one thing about Marlows Park is it's a TB area, so we won't be able to get the pack from here.
You can only relocate from Marlow to another TB area. So
TB
that's the
area.
problem. So I need to be able to gather babies from a non-TB area and make sure that they are clear of TB before we can export them to different countries where they are needed.
Yeah.
So we have to look at diseases. What diseases can we spread? So we have to be very careful when it comes to those things.
And that's how
Tell
we
me,
work with the state vet and our own veterinarians regarding that.
do they have any natural enemies?
Yes, they are eaten by eagles. I saw photos of someone took it in the Kruger Park where a crowned eagle actually grabbed one of these little four-legged land piranhas and once again gave that specific "there's trouble" scream, and the whole pack attacked the eagle. Eventually the eagle dropped the mongoose and the mongoose got away. So yeah, definitely birds of prey eat them. Jackal will eat them.
Baboons, we saw videos.
Baboons. Yeah,
Snakes?
there was a video not long ago on Facebook of baboons attacking these mongooses. So yeah, they are prey for other animals, but they're also very important to the ecosystem because they do eat snakes. They will attack snakes. They eat snakes. They eat eggs. So that's another problem with Moloch Park is ground birds. Birds that makes nest on the ground is definitely their eggs will be
Eaten.
obliterated by mongooses.
Yeah.
Interesting. My boy used to bring snakes home when he was a bit naive. So we bought him a rubber snake, and he was playing in the garden with this rubber snake, and a bunch of mongooses moved through and ripped that rubber snake apart. Tabo came running into the house. The things got all of his snake, and I was wondering what was this that got all of his snake, and I saw there's 80 mongooses outside eating a rubber snake. So it's interesting that they don't have any.
No, they've got no fear.
They don't
There
have
is
any
no
fear
fear in a
of
mongoose.
yeah.
Absolutely, unless a haribor flies over them, they go. Their warning sound is more like a scream, and then they go, caw, 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 caw.
Yeah.
That's the sound of there's danger.
There's especially no fear by protecting their family members.
They will make like a pyramid. So they all band together, and wherever something wants to grab them, there is a mouth. So they literally move in unison, like a Trojan horse almost, where they move in unison to protect pack members. So they are not everyone to themselves. They literally
work together.
If there's one scream, the whole cavalry arrives. They catching them to transfer them to Zimbabwe was literally terrifying, and I need trauma counseling for it.
Even the vet said that.
Yeah, even the vet. I will rather tickle a lion's goons than try and attack a group of mongooses of 50 plus. No, that's terrifying.
We
They were
saw the
literally they were
pictures.
jumping. No, it's terrifying. I need trauma counseling. I'm still in shock from it.
And the best is they expected Deirdre to do that, and Deirdre didn't raise them. Deirdre didn't work with them. That would have been traumatic for you, Deirdre. So I'm glad you get involved there.
Because you know what you do.
I would have paid money to see it because it would have been funny as hell.
Because they know Anneke better than me, and that's always better for that person if it needs to be transported to their soft release enclosure that person does, because they will not attack as bad.
No, they will. They did.
Okay. Luckily, it was you.
The leader of that, the male head of the Zimbabwe group. I will not say what his name was. Little bastard. Let's just say that. Let's say that. But time and again, he attacked me. They form a bond with one person. They see me as part of their pack. So I try not to get too many people involved with them. Then they see humans as a plus point.
Yeah, which is
not just all humans. So they form a bond with me, and now that bond has been broken, I'm not there anymore, so they can detach from that human bond they had because they only saw me as a pack member, not other people.
Yeah, other humans. Because then they just
so I also call Anneke the mongoose whisperer, because she talks their language and she literally calls them out of the bushes. Are there any distinct sounds or noises that you identify if there's trauma in the group, if it's a cute looking for food? I know when they eat, they make a cute little noise as well.
Water. They've got the cutest water sound. If I put water in their bowl, or used to put water in their bowl, it was like this. Like I said, the danger one is more like a laugh almost.
And bird sounds.
Bird sounds, there's a squeal that they do if a different bird flies over. And definitely if there's trouble, it's like a screech. They do the screeching sound, and it's literally call to arms.
So they've got a definite communication cadence or system within each other.
Massive communication, yeah, definitely. Up in the morning, they've got this soft, I don't know how, like the sounds that they make, and then every morning they mark each other. They mask each other. So I've been covered in that as well. That they mark each other and just, hi, you're my family. Oh, I love you. Let me drag my balls over you. So it's weird, but they are such intriguing animals. It's just, I've got so much respect for these animals. The way they look after each other, the way they protect each other, the love that they give. So yeah, I can understand why people want to keep them, because I've been doing them for almost 5 years now. And I've had so many go through. I think the most I got on one stage was a nest of 18 babies that the parents were killed or something. They found some dead babies as well. And it's sleepless nights. And you know what? It's for me, it's every time I lose one, I cry my eyes out. I've phoned Deirdre so many times wanting to give up. I'm not doing animals anymore.
Oh, here's another one.
And then the next day she phones me and she says, listen, there's a rescue out Schoeman's Kloofside. I'm on my way. I'm there. I'm on my way. Now, when I hear mongoose, I'm there. I don't care what mongoose. If it says mongoose, I'm there.
Tell me, if you find one in lying or if it's injured, what should you do?
Definitely call someone that knows what to do. They might look injured. Like any other wild animal, when they are injured, they are more dangerous because they will bite out of fear. They will bite out of pain. Even from around about 4 weeks old, they can draw blood.
Yeah.
They are mobile at about 3 to 4 weeks that they start moving around and start foraging with their parents. So they have a very short time of being babies. Get someone to help. Try and get it to a rehabber as soon as possible. Phone a decent rehabilitation center that releases back into the wild. I'm pro releasing back into the wild. I don't like keeping animals in cages. Yeah, I keep snakes in cages.
But you have to for antivenom.
But it's for the production of antivenom. It's unfortunately a necessary evil that we need to do. I don't like keeping animals in cages. For me, it's not right. They belong in the wild. They need to be where they belong.
Do they carry any diseases or sicknesses that we need to be aware of that's transferable to us?
Mongooses can definitely be carriers of TB. They can definitely be carriers of rabies. Other diseases I am not sure of. I have never encountered anything else than TB. Rabies, I know we have a good track record at this stage with Mpumalanga. We stay in close contact with our state vets for reports and things if there is a rabies outbreak. Like my mongooses that went to Zimbabwe, we had to catch them and give them rabies injections before. That was one of the requirements, is that they need rabies injections before they go over.
And a report from the state vet.
Okay, so Anneke, I know we pushed for time. I just want to quickly finish off with thanking you for your dedication and your positive get-go attitude. And when Deirdre asks something, it's always, yes, let's just go, let's do this. I know you've broken a couple of land speed records chasing after animals. And the work that you're doing at LV. Yeah, yeah, I remember all of that. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, but I love you guys. I love
feels
Deirdre. Me and Deirdre share a birthplace. Yeah.
Birthday on the same day.
Yeah. We sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, twins, the evil twins. Yeah. So
I'm the evil
drive
one.
safe back home. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll chat soon.
Yeah, for you guys anytime.
Dankie Anneke. That's it.